Welcome to the Therapist After Dark podcast. Ever wonder what happens when the therapy session is over? Well, we're digging into the funny, heartwarming, and surprising stories therapists have after they leave the office. Join us, two mental health professionals, every week for a dose of laughter, a touch of drama, and maybe a few shocking revelations. Because therapists are people too.
It's been like a little bit of time since we've recorded last, huh?
Yes, it has. Yeah, summer is upon us now, so
It's upon us for sure. I know, I just got back from like 2 different back-to-back trips.
Yeah.
I'm exhausted.
yeah.
So, but I'm happy that we're here.
Yes, happy to be back and transition into kind of the new stuff we're gonna do. So I don't know. Do we want to talk about that now or at the end of the podcast?
Yeah, let's actually talk about it now.
Yeah. So I think going forward, right, we're gonna continue the podcast. We love doing this podcast. We're a little deflated right now, but I think it has something to do with the podcast now.
Sickness, travel, tired, fatigue, summer, fun, all the things.
All of the things. So we're gonna continue with the podcast. We're gonna change it to bi-weekly episodes, and we're gonna keep them around the 20 to 30 minutes so they're easily like digestible.
Yep, absolutely.
And then the fun, exciting news, we're gonna take the Therapist After Dark podcast out into the real world.
Here.
Yeah. So do you want to kind of?
Yeah. So, for those of you guys who live in the Rhode Island area, we are having our first meetup on June 7th. Okay, I was going to say the 9th, and I was like, that's wrong. June 27th. It is a Thursday. And we'll be meeting from like 5 to 7. And we're inviting any and all practitioners in the mental health realm. So whether you're a life coach or a therapist or a psychotherapist or an LPC or a psychiatrist, whatever, anybody in that kind of what is it? Behavioral specialist. I just want to make sure that all of the mental health professions are kind of like covered. Thank you.
We're gonna have a hard time.
Yeah.
We're gonna have a lot of hard time.
Today's the day. Today's that day. Yeah. So that's gonna be really exciting, and we're gonna meet, and we have some cool like prompts for you guys, so we can actually have these same conversations amongst each other in person, and we'll be doing that once a month. And I think our goal is to hopefully switch places. So if you're interested in joining us, we're going to have all the details on our Instagram page. But if you, for some reason, don't have Instagram or whatever, just leave us a comment or let us know and like email us or whatever, and we will give you all the details. So we'd love to see you.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be a great opportunity, even just like network or just get to connect with other clinicians on a human level. So
Yeah, absolutely, because we're human too. Remember,
that's why.
hashtag we are human too. Yeah, so that's happening. What else is happening? We've heard you, and we know that our audio has been a little bit difficult to.
Sorry.
Remember, we are brand new to this game. So, yes, we are also in the process of making sure that that actually is working out a little bit better for us, for y'all, because we know how much you love this podcast and how much you also would love to hear it better. So, stay tuned. If this particular episode hasn't made the cut yet, don't worry, the next one will.
Yes. You know, like we're therapists. Like we don't know how to do
Tech.
Sorry. Sorry about that.
Yeah. Sorry. We do our best.
Oh man. All right. Cool beans. That's my saying this week. Cool beans.
Oh, that's great.
I have like a saying every week. I don't know.
I like cool beans. I'm still with the kerfuffles. I don't know why. I just can't let it go.
Well, I think today's kerfuffle is our energy level.
Yes. Like, how would you describe it? If you were to describe it using some level of a metaphor?
My energy level?
Yeah.
I just thought of so many different weird things.
Like, I feel like gack.
Yeah. What is that?
Exactly. If you are probably above 30, you may know what gack is from Nickelodeon. I produced this little, it was a toy back in the day. And it was this blob that you could smush and make noises with. And that's all I do. that's my energy level. It's GAC. I'm just here and being squished, and I'm making cool noises, and hopefully they make sense to you.
Okay, yeah, it is. I was thinking more along the lines of like a slug who's got salt poured on it.
Oh, geez. Oh, we're in we're in death mode. It's pouring the salt.
I don't know. Someone's punishing me. I don't.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So this is how you definitely want to come to a podcast recording. Just the realest, rawest, but I feel like it's perfect for our topic today.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because I felt like this all week, if not worse, and I'd had clients all week.
Oh gosh.
And guess how many clients I canceled?
How many? None?
0.
How do you do that? How do you do that? Oh my God.
Crazy person.
That's insane. That's insane.
I will say, I didn't offer to reschedule anyone who canceled.
Oh, congratulations. That's great.
It's like, okay, let's just resume next session.
Yeah.
Instead of like, oh, why don't we try a different date or time?
Right.
No.
Wow. Well, I guess you have your boundaries somewhere.
I see a lot of my clients bi-weekly, so I don't know. I feel bad.
Because there's no place or room in your schedule to move them to like just one more day, like one other day. Like so say you're going in and you're like, it's like really hard. So maybe you're not like fully sick, but like your energy is super low and you're just not feeling it at all.
Mm.
What do?
I let them know that I'm not feeling well. My energy is super low, and they're not going to get the best out of me today.
Oh, wow. You're that clear.
Yeah. And if they choose not to have a session with me, which they never do, which is fine, that's great. Like, but typically, they choose to continue the session, and yeah, and I'm just more there to hold the space, and that's all I can do. But when it comes to like insurance too, like I'm like watching the clock because once it hits 38 minutes, I could charge the 45-minute session.
Oh my God.
Okay, we're done for the day. The 38 minutes, and I'll even tell them that. I'm like, we're only going to 38.
Oh, you'll even tell them?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
The clients that I've been working with for a long time.
Yeah, right. There's a rapport built. Of course, like let's just be very clear.
Yes.
These are clients that you've probably known for years. It's not like some new person.
Right.
There's already an established relationship.
Yeah. I mean, if it was
You're consistent. I trust you.
You're right. If it was a new person, I would still be clear that, like, clearly, I mean, I think it's very visible that I'm not feeling well. You can hear my voice and the bags in the eyes. Like, if you can't tell, like,
that's on you.
Yeah. But I would still, even with a newer client, I would still be very, like, just upfront about this is how session's going to go today. This is how I'm feeling. Yeah, maybe I wouldn't say, I've had my timer on for 38 minutes.
So wait, what do you work? Do you work a 45-minute schedule or 15?
So I do both. So I do a 45-minute and a 60-minute.
Okay.
So the 45-minute really, like, I could go as, if it's through insurance, I will do as little as 38 minutes, right?
Wow.
Because that qualifies for 45 minutes, or as high as 53 minutes.
And okay, so like obviously with insurance, it's one thing, but how do your clients feel about only talking to you for 38 minutes? They don't need more time?
Not when I'm dead.
Like,
I literally, like, one of my, when I was really sick, the first day, and thank God we had 4 clients that day. Most of them were virtual, so, but, I just, like, I was with a guy, I have nothing else for you. We get 38 minutes. I'm good to charge you insurance. How are you feeling? And she was like, yeah, you need to go.
oh man.
I was like, thank you. Thanks for taking care of me.
Thanks for seeing me and taking care of me. Wow. Yeah. I mean, that's wild. I feel like I think that's the difference between maybe private pay versus insurance. So how do you manage like private pay clients? Like how, if you're that sick and you can't bill at 38 and they paid you the full fee, what do you do?
I don't know. I don't know. I think I would still push through it.
Yeah.
But I would push through it for longer because I have to.
Do you not have any current private pay clients?
Oh, I do. Half my clients are private pay.
Oh, so then what do you do with them? Have you never been sick?
Well, actually, the day I was really sick, it was all insurance clients, so that really helped. But like yesterday, I had 7 clients.
Oh my
I
gosh.
I know I'm a crazy person.
Self-care. I need you to have self-care.
And half of them were self-pay, and I forgot to take my medication, like my cold medication, whatever I was taking. Oh my god, it was brutal, but I did it.
Did it, but I got through, but I managed.
Yeah.
I feel like as a client, and maybe this is where some of my people pleasing or like whatever comes into play, like and I've always done this. It's not even just since I've been a coach and like I charge because like with as a coach, I charge for packages, right? So like
Right.
obviously they've already paid for their package, so we just reschedule. It's like not even that big of an issue. But my clients, if they hadn't paid and I only saw them like, like not as frequently or whatever, I'd still do the same thing. I don't know. Like, I feel personally, I'm like, I wouldn't want to only get half of my therapist if I was showing up because I know it's so hard to show up. So, um, and I'm also petty. So I'm like, oh, well, if I came, then like you should be 100%, so, and
Right.
that's who I am.
Right.
So it's kind of like, I don't know if have you ever been a bartender?
No.
So as a bartender, you tend to make drinks the way that you like to drink them.
Okay.
And so it's kind of the same thing. Like I show up as a therapist and a coach as I would like to be, as I would like to receive. And yeah, I couldn't.
Yeah.
There's no way. I would be like, and I'll tell them, I'll be like, I literally have no gas in the tank.
Yeah.
And it's not fair to you
Yeah.
to give you this version of me because I'm going to be just gack.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna be gack, and you're gonna just like squish me, and fart noises are gonna come out. Like it's not gonna be cute. So can we please reschedule?
Yeah.
Yeah. And most of the time they do. Or if they're like, oh, I really can't, I'm like, okay, no worries, we've got this.
Yeah.
And I'll like pop up for those moments.
Yeah.
But I will say, like during session, even when I'm really sick,
Yeah.
the moment I'm in session,
To get into it.
yeah, I'm like a whole different aspect of me like kicks in.
Yeah. Mhm. Something about it's the therapy drug.
Yeah,
Whatever that drug is.
whatever that is. Hello, we're here. Oh my god,
Mhm.
wild.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, there's just a day where it's really hard for me to be vertical. And that was the day I was like, I just have 4 clients. They're all virtual. They all have the option to not stay here with me. And it worked out.
Yeah. What about if, especially with how people, ever since COVID, like health concerns and things like that,
Mm-hmm.
do you ever find that you'll wear a mask, or do you have to like tell your clients you'll wear a mask? If you're feeling sick, or if they're feeling sick, do you ask them to wear a mask, or do you guys not?
No, I have a little one of those things that like purifies the air,
Yeah.
a filter, an air filter.
Yeah. Air purifier. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not too worried about it anymore.
I mean, clearly it's been working. So yeah, it's curious.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, listen, I get my flu shots. I used to work with kids. Like, I've got the germs of the worst of all the germs. Like, I don't like what. Give me your germs. I feel like I'm touching that. So
Yeah. The airport's right behind me.
yeah,
That one sounded really low though. Like just buzzed off the top of our hair.
wow.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. I mean,
If they want to wear a mask, they can.
yeah.
But I'm not, and I'm not all day long. I'm not wearing a mask.
No, I don't blame you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just curious because, like, I don't see anybody in person, so I was just wondering how that is. What it's like.
Yeah. Even when I was working in a group private practice when COVID was kind of around, and once the mask mandate was lifted, I was not wearing a mask, and my clients were. That was up to them.
Yeah.
But I told them, like, I'm not wearing a mask.
Right.
And I don't feel comfortable.
The wear one.
Right. Or don't come.
Yeah.
I'm too I'm not wearing a mask.
Oh, yeah. Oh my gosh. And like, what was it? Eric, he works in seafood. So not only is he wearing like, working in seafood, Eric's my husband, by the way, working in seafood and wearing this mask and smelling like fish, but then like wearing a mask like that all day for like 8 to 10 hours.
Yeah.
you get like mask mouth.
I'm gonna throw up.
We don't have to deal with that anymore.
Yeah. Oh God.
I'm sorry, husband. I might cut this part out. I didn't mean to like call you
Mask out.
Everyone had it. It wasn't just you, I promise.
But yeah, it's wild. It's like, I hear you. Like, yeah, I hear that like showing up for your client is obviously like the most important thing you can do. And so if you're not 100%, it is wise to reschedule. I don't know what it is. Is it like a guilt? I don't know.
Well, I feel like it's important. I think regardless, I think both of us are at least aware enough to share with our clients like how we're feeling and giving like letting the decision be up to them.
Yeah.
You know, like I'll always ask, I'm like, this is what I'm feeling, and if you want me to show up, I will, but like just the same thing that you said.
Right.
And they just still most of the time they'll be like, no, I'm good.
Yeah. Yeah.
But if in the fair chance that they aren't and they want to show up, they want me to show up, I will.
Now, do you think that is different? Because for me, from my experience, most of the time, you're like, no, that's fine. Like, let's do it.
Yeah.
Now with coaching, right, you're very direct and it's intense. It's like, I think sometimes with therapy, like, especially with insurance, sometimes like you have more time.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like, okay, like we could have a slower session today, but we'll get right back into it next session.
Totally.
But like when when you sell a package for coaching, right, you have very specific, right. So you need every session to be on 100%.
Yeah, exactly. And that's like the last thing I want to do is like, here, you're gonna have like a part of me, but we have a lot of stuff we need to cover.
Yeah.
So yeah, totally. I agree. And I think also just the foundation of what it means to be a therapist versus what it means to be a coach. Like therapists are meant to hold space.
Yeah.
Sometimes your presence there is just enough. As a coach, they're hiring me for a specific outcome or specific result. So like, yeah, I don't have the same luxury. I was like, it would be in both of our best interests.
Exactly.
To cancel this session and you'll love me so much better next time.
Right.
Because I'll fucking crush it.
And then you'll feel you'll crush it. You'll feel good. The client will feel good. You know, I did not feel good after those sessions where I was like, all right, bye. Like, I'm tapping out.
Yeah. Well, it's why I think what's wild is the 38 minutes. I like had no idea that was even a thing. Like all my sessions as a therapist were 50. Like there was not insurance, not insurance. It didn't matter. It was always 50 minutes.
So, really?
Yeah.
That's so silly. You could get way more money for a session that's over 53 minutes.
I mean, I wish. Yeah, no. I mean, I would charge more for my couple sessions because I would do what's 50 plus 50?
100? What's 2 plus 2? What that like weird?
Back.
Do you know that insurance pays out less for family therapy?
What?
And some insurance won't even pay out for family therapy.
What?
So, a little hack therapist, I don't know if this is legal, I have no idea, but I don't work with families or couples, so
It's just like, even if it is illegal.
you just have one identified client and you do a 60-minute session instead of a family session.
Oh.
They chart. If they pay out, it's way less than 60-minute individual session.
I wonder when they changed that.
Gosh, they're crazy.
Yeah. Wow, I didn't. Yeah, insurance is wild. I don't know anything about it, and I'm really happy I don't have to do anything with it.
I know. I don't know when I'm going to stop feeling bad and stop using insurance.
I mean, but it works for now, and it's great. I feel like right now, especially with our economy and everything, like insurance is like the only way that people can afford to consistently do anything.
Exactly.
See a mental health professional,
Right.
See a physician, get checkups. Like, I think especially now, like paying out of pocket just feels like so.
Mm-hmm.
And not to mention, most therapists' rates are also increasing.
Yeah.
So unless you have insurance or an HSA account built in through your company,
Right.
what are people going to do?
Right.
It's a lot. Like $200 a session is like a whole lot.
Mm-hmm.
And I know because I charge a lot.
Well, a lot of therapists say like you shouldn't be charging less than 150.
Fair point. Yeah. Oh, dang it. Well, we'll get you there.
So sad.
I don't, we don't have to talk those numbers yet, but we should probably outside the podcast. I'd be curious to hear from both other practitioners and from clients. Like, if you're a client, do you feel like when you pay lower than $100, or if you pay through insurance, that the quality of your therapist is as good as if you were to pay out of pocket for someone who's like $250? I'd be curious.
And yeah. I'm an asshole trying to be nice. So
I mean, it's great. Your practice is full, but you're also seeing 7 clients a day. And so maybe we just bumped up that a little bit.
that there is this constant conflict between, do I raise my rates or keep them low to keep them accessible? Or do I raise my rates because that's what I deserve?
So here's my theory around that, because I feel the same way. And yet at the same time, ah, um, I'm trying so hard to move it, like, not let me move. My theory is that there's always a new therapist who's coming below you who can charge at a lower rate. And I think that as you grow with experience and as you grow with wisdom and your own education and all your CEUs and all the things, like, it's actually important for you to model your worth
keep growing.
and to keep growing and keep expanding, because what good are your clients going to be if you're staying stuck? And I would bet to also believe that the clients who want to grow with you probably wouldn't grow with you if you stayed at the exact rate or the same where you were,
Right.
because then they wouldn't see the value in the evolution that you have.
Very true. Touche.
Yeah. So that's the way that I normalize raising my rates.
Yeah. I never thought of it that way. I like that.
Yeah, because I feel like it's so easy to be like the martyr, especially in this field.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's really easy for us to fall on the sword and like do the right thing and like all the things, which is important. But I think we already are doing the right thing, you know, ethically in our practices and all these other components that people don't see,
Right.
especially as an entrepreneur behind the scenes with creating a practice for mental health support. But it's also like super, super important for us to honor and value ourselves and the knowledge. I mean, like you said the other episode, you're not just paying for the single hour, you're paying for the 10 years, the decades, years of experience that I have.
Right.
And it's important for me, just like you would probably want to raise at your job. You know, it's important for me to get a raise at my job.
True.
And so I have to raise my rates to match my experience.
Yeah.
It's important, or else you stay stagnant. And then you hate the job and then you get resentful. And
Yeah. Well, and to your point too, it at what point does become detrimental to you and the client?
Totally. Yeah. Because it's like, have you ever, whenever I feel like this is kind of what I coach a lot of my clients through, like knowing your worth, right? So like, there's a point where you are no longer vibrating at the rate of $100 an hour or whatever it is. And it doesn't feel good to receive $100 an hour anymore, because you know that you should have more. And so maybe in those moments, because unintentionally you may sabotage receiving that $100, or you may shorten your client sessions. I'm just kidding.
No, you're lucky. If you're paying private pay, I will not shorten.
Yeah, no, totally. I just wanted to like bring that back up. That's hilarious. But yeah, no, but you might like do things to sabotage like receiving even 100.
Yeah.
Because you're like,
You're not.
you're not feeling it. You're like, I don't even like that. So then you don't even receive anything around that.
Yeah.
But then the moment you like align with your worth and the number that actually feels more congruent to your value now, based on where you are now in your career, it actually feels a lot more easy to receive, and you'll notice more people will come through the door willing and grateful to pay you for that right amount.
You know, and I'm going to say something, it's going to be a hard truth.
Here we go.
But the clients where the insurance only pays out like 65 freaking dollars.
Yeah.
I'm not inclined to be my best therapist there. I'm really not at times. I'm like, F this. I'm working an hour, 38 minutes. 45-minute session for $65. You could take that and shove it up your behind. I don't even want it.
Yeah. Oh, and that sucks because it's not the client's fault.
Right.
Y'all have no idea that that's what the rate is. Like, you just know what our rates are, and you just know maybe what your copay is,
Right.
but you don't know that it's not equal or congruent, and so that's totally not your fault.
And insurance is such an evil bastard because you can't even balance bill. If I charge 150 and insurance pays out 50, just to make easy math,
Yeah.
I can't charge you the balance because I'm contracted with the insurance.
Right. Right. Yeah.
Bullshit.
Yep.
Insurance, do better. Do better.
Which I think is why certain people only take certain insurance, because some insurance companies don't.
Yes,
pay out.
I only take one insurance, but depending on the plan of the insurance, there is about this one up. I'm just gonna say, long story short, know your worth, therapist, and
And that's all she wrote.
so, yeah.
And we still love you even if you take insurance, but at the same time, if you can find a way to private pay, that's also great too. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
We hope that you enjoyed the peek behind the therapy room curtain. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, and share the podcast. Until next time, remember, life's a journey, even for your therapist. Take care and see you next episode.